Go, Elliot.
Welcome, Nerds fans, to the latest S&M production of the Sunday Night Sports Nerd Show. It is the most absurd 90 minutes of anything goes, smack talk, and a whole lot more. Every Sunday night, the Sports Nerd joins Sports News with his maniac co-hosts, whom are a select group of sports nerds with attitude that are known in Nerd Nation as the Rat Pack. These are four of the most foul-mouthed, shit-talking nerds, spitting some sick rips and rants, just enough to make you piss your pants. So listen up, Nerd Nation. Rise and welcome the legend himself. He is the founder, he is the host, and he is the star of the Sports Nerd Show. Coming to you live, straight out of Lakeland, Florida, Scott, the Sports Nerd. Right.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Nerds for Sunday, September 20th, week 2 in the NFL. And we got Mr. John Olson bouncing up and down and getting antsy. Elliot is back from middle of his rehab from surgery. Ken's here. I'm here. The whole gang's all here. I hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. How you doing, Brett? I know all four of us have had a great football weekend. Ken's had a great hockey weekend, along with the Mr. Bandwagon over there, Elliot Lamba Sr. And it is what it is. It's okay.
Speak for yourself on that
great sports weekend altogether.
Well, it was a win. It was a win for the Niners. I won't say it was a great overall.
No, it wasn't a win in the overall scheme of things. They lost their quarterback. They lost their running back. They lost Nick Bosa. He's gone.
Yep.
I mean, they lost 4 top flight players, man.
Yep.
Not to mention Kittle's already out.
What's the prognosis? Like, was it MCL tears or ACL tears or something?
Yes, it was an ACL tear.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley has an ACL tear.
Yep. Yes, Saquon Barkley has an ACL tear. Jimmy Garoppolo's got a high ankle sprain. Nick Bosa also has an ACL tear. Sterling Shepard has a toe issue. We also lost Davante Adams to a hamstring. Anthony Barr from the Vikings to a shoulder. And quarterback Drew Lock to a separated or something going on with his shoulder in Denver. So
there's more. There's
a whole bunch more. Malik Hooker's got to have Malik Hooker for the Colts has a torn Achilles. Tyrod Taylor is out, and the rookie's playing for
Paris Campbell, who is supposed to be the breakout guy in Indy,
yes,
the receiver, knee injury. He's gone.
Didn't Denver star receiver go down today? The rookie they drafted, number 10 or 13 overall?
Judy?
I think he went down with an injury today, too.
And Cortland Sutton came in with an injury issue.
Yep. So
Davante Adams is down for the Packers.
Yep, Davante Adams. Yeah, Davante Adams was down with a knee injury. I think it was what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen,
hamstring.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2020.
Yes,
welcome. That keeps on giving.
Welcome to the 2020 NFL season with no off-season, no preseason, and injuries are aplenty in week 2. So, yeah, it's been a rough weekend. On the other hand, beginning with Thursday night, Browns beat those hapless Bengals. It wasn't as close as the score looked. The Browns were in control the entire game. My boys Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb balled out. Baker had a good game, but I made the mistake of not playing Baker in my fantasy this week. I replaced him with, believe it or not, Kirk Cousins, who had negative fantasy score for the week. Yes, I do not know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to fantasy.
I think I called him out on his loyalty towards his quarterback.
Yes, you did, Elliot. Thank you very much. You did. Thursday night, you called me out. Yes, you did. I will lose to Brett. I don't see any way I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick up.
No, you could use those extra 22 points that.
I mean, Drew Brees is going to have to throw 10 touchdowns for me to win tonight. But it ain't going to happen.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, right? So yeah, I'm going to lose fantasy 2 weeks in a row. I'll be 0-2 going out the gate.
Dude, look, today I lost Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nyheim Hines didn't do shit all game long. He had 1 catch. Anthony Miller, 0 catches. Who else? Mark Andrews has 1 catch today for 3.9 points. And Paris Campbell went out in the first quarter with 0.7 points. And with all that, I'm still going to win this week. I just don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I got some magic tricking to do here.
Right.
When it comes to my roster.
Yeah, yeah.
Fortunately, though, my receiver issue is kind of solved because I picked up Devontae Parker and Brandon Cooks. And they both had good games today, which means that they're kind of past their injuries.
Right.
So I can slide them right in. Otherwise, crappy days.
Yeah, well, the Browns' offense looked like it was supposed to look, or like I hoped it would look.
The Browns' offense looked like it was supposed to look against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, yeah. Well, it's also look that way every week.
Plain and simple. Because I don't hear you talking about the previous week.
No, well, they didn't because
when Nick Chubb was a little man.
Well, yeah, well, because the Ravens are probably one of the top 2 teams in the NFL right now.
Browns had 220 yards rushing?
Yeah.
Close to it.
Yeah, they really had a good week rushing.
Yeah, and they even set records too.
Yeah.
Ask Stefanski.
Nick Chubb reminded me of Marshawn Lynch a couple of those runs.
He was running over people, yes.
Couldn't touch him.
And Kareem Hunt got a touchdown out of the backfield as well. My main concern, of course, as anybody had watched, is that defense that allowed 30 points scored on him.
Wait till y'all play Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know. But I do want to say that Joe Burrow is the real deal. He played really good against us. He is the real deal. And
he did not play like a rookie.
No, he doesn't play like a rookie.
He will by far be better than Baker Mayfield.
Well, in the long term, probably.
Yep.
But we'll see.
That's what I said. In the long term, moving forward.
Moving forward. And before we get to the game of the day, I want to touch base with my partner down on the left-hand side, Mr. John Olson, in his day in Miami.
Game of the day.
Huh?
What a shocker that was. Literally, the lightning and shit.
So Josh Allen is the real deal. 400-plus yards. How many touchdowns? Did he run for a couple touchdowns today?
No, he didn't run for any.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
He actually
didn't have
threw
to.
4.
He didn't have
Threw
to.
4. He threw 4. He had over 440 yards. Or 415, excuse me. 415.
417. But who's counting?
Close enough.
Yeah.
And
4.
Hey, he didn't have to run, dude. He didn't have to run.
Yeah.
Well, he did when he had to, but no, he didn't have to. He didn't have to run.
No, he only did. I think he only ran for like 20 yards or 30 yards. He didn't really.
But that one run when he got 9 yards, he ran over 2 or 3 people on the way to those 9 yards. I mean, he was a bull. If they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
You happy, John?
Oh man. Can I start now?
You can start now. Yeah, I gave the floor to you. Go for it.
Back in the 90s, there was this group. They were 3/5, 3/6 of this group called New Edition. They were known as Belle Biv DeVoe. We have a new BBD, folks. It is Brown, Beasley, and Diggs. And never trust a big button and smile. That girl is poison.
That.
Woo! What's it like, John, to have basically the best receiving tandem threesome in the league, John? What does that feel like? I don't know, John, because we haven't had this type of receiving core in Buffalo since, I don't know, these guys named Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, and Eric Moulds was there, Stevie Johnson. Yeah, we never had this guy that I saw a tweet today actually intercepted a Josh Allen throw. If you watch the game, you'll know the catch I'm talking about. Stephon Diggs went up about 50 feet in the air and grabbed the ball that should have been intercepted, but he grabbed it and took it away from 2 defenders. I don't know what it's like, John. What's it like, John? I don't know. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this offensive output that we got. We actually got a quarterback that everybody that was a fan of him said, just get him weapons. Right now, he's doing everything. Get him weapons. Of course, he's not going to have accuracy because he had guys that ran a 60-yard dash in about 17 minutes. Like, that's what he used to run with. That's what he used to throw to. Now he's got
John, Josh Allen has more weapons than Arnold Schwarzenegger did in Commando.
Exactly. It's insanity. It's crazy to watch. And I mentioned this last weekend. I never once felt the game was in jeopardy last week against the Jets just because the way that they can move the ball. Even though they were down in the fourth quarter. Even though it's not the Dolphins, it's Fitzpatrick always plays us tough. It's just that's a Fitz thing. And we didn't have two of our starting like linebackers in
right.
as well. So we had a bunch of guys off the bench. The defense didn't play that good, but that offense, man. I mean, Josh Allen is a beast.
Yeah.
And the rest of the league will be, talking about this all week when all of Bill's Mafia was saying, just give him weapons. And this is what happens.
Yeah, and people that went after the Bills for drafting him in the first place a couple years ago said he wasn't.
Oh, they wanted Josh Rosen.
Yeah, they wanted Josh Rosen. They didn't want.
They wanted Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are the class of that quarterback draft. Sorry,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
It's not even close.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Eliana.
Anyways, go sports. Yes. I'm blown away. I mean, Stephon Diggs is the real deal, man. I mean, this kid is just, he had 153 yards, touchdown, was grabbing everything. He had 3 DBs on him for that John Brown touchdown, that 46-yard. It was crazy. He opens up you can't defend this. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's beautiful. Thanks for listening. Go Bills. There will be more later.
There will be more later. Okay. And finally, Ken. Well, let's go to Elliot first. Let's go to Elliot first. Elliot, the Niners did beat the Jets today, but it was a win that had somber undertones because of what you guys actually lost.
Yeah, we lost more than we lost. You know what? It would have been easier to lose the game and keep the guys we lost.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo got dinged up. He had a high ankle sprain. Raheem Mostert went out with a knee issue. But the biggest hit of all, of course, is going to be Nick Bosa, who's going to be out with a torn ACL.
Yeah, that defensive line will suffer.
That's the one that's going to hurt the most. I mean, they got the win, they dominated, but they should have dominated because it was the Jets.
I knew we were in trouble when the star of the game was Jordan Reed for us.
Yes, Jordan Reed actually had a day today. He had like 2 touchdown catches, and it was great.
When was the last time Jordan Reed had a day?
I don't know. Maybe his first stint with the Niners, or when he was back in Washington. I don't know. But
like I said, 2020, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
The weirdest shit keeps happening.
It's 2020.
It's like the world has been turned on its ear.
Yes.
And it's being shaken around like this. And all kinds of crap is falling out. But it is what it is. I mean, I took a serious blow to my real football team and a much more serious blow to my fantasy football team.
Yes, because you lost Saquon today, too.
Yeah, blown out in fantasy.
Amongst others. Amongst others.
I don't give a crap. I'm just happy that okay, sorry. I'm not rubbing it. I don't mean to be the one rubbing it in with all you guys having horrible franchise times and losses.
Happens. But you know what? Good players don't whine about it, so I'm just going to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
You suck it up and you try to move on and try to do better next week.
You know what? I've been in worse holes in fantasy season.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. And finally, Mr. Costolo, you're having a good weekend, sir. First, the Dallas Stars put a whooping on my Tampa Bay Lightning last night, 4-1 in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final.
We kept waiting for the Lightning to show up, but evidently it was all in South Florida.
Yeah,
So.
they must have stayed, and they must have been, yeah, because they didn't show up at all. I mean,
there was no lightning in the sky, nothing but
best goalie in the game couldn't keep one, couldn't just was terrible.
So it was a great start to the game. Of course, Tampa Bay came back and tied the game pretty quickly, so I figured it was going to be a bloodbath from there on out. But I tell you what, Mr. Hobby Boolin is having a hell of a run right now. I've been watching him. Let's see. I went to back with 2 or 3 years, and he's having the kind of run that Marc-Andre Fleury had for the Penguins in their back-to-back Cup runs. He's having the same kind of run that Jordan Binnington had last year, that Holtby had 2 years ago for Washington. Tell you what, I mean, he's taking a beating there in front of the net, but man alive, he's coming through.
They were really physical with Tampa last night, and it just showed because they were just pushing him around all game long.
I think
Tampa
they
responded.
realized they had to be because they got
Tampa's
out
a physical team too, and
and
then that's the way Dallas has to be. It's because Tampa's really physical too, and that's the way Dallas has to be.
Yeah.
When Tampa tied up at first, I thought we were going to have a shootout going on, but then they just shut them down, and there was nothing you could do.
Yeah,
That's on game one, but that's why they play. That's why it's a 7-game series, and we'll see what happens going forward. Next up, Dallas Cowboys. What in the Sam hell happened in Dallas today? Excuse me, in Arlington today.
It's called the Atlanta
Oh,
Falcons.
my
It's
God.
called the Atlanta Falcons and fourth quarter football.
The Atlanta Falcons opened up a 20-0 lead in the first quarter. End up having a 29-9 or 29-7, something like that, lead at one point. And the onside kick that was heard around the world. Okay,
I have
You know
never
what?
seen
You know what?
a line onside kick
What
like
the
that.
I
hell?
have never seen an onside
What
kick
the
like that
hell
in my
were
entire
those
life.
guys doing? Those guys were mesmerized watching the ball spin on the ground.
They would. They would.
Atlanta, any of those guys on Atlanta could have jumped in and freaking grabbed that
At any
ball.
point in time,
I-
you could jump
I-
on the ball before it hits 10 yards, Atlanta. You didn't have to wait till it hit 10 yards.
It's called
I
Atlanta.
posted this on a number of outlets. That kick had more English in it than Parliament did.
Yes, exactly.
When he tapped it, I didn't think it had a chance in hell of going 10 yards. It rolled kind of diagonally, and I go, that's not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden, everyone started gathering around it, and sure enough, it turned and made a beeline toward the 10-yard spot.
Yes.
And I'm going, well, wait a minute. And then Atlanta just kind of mesmerized by it, I guess. I don't know. And we jumped all over it. So
Don't these guys know? Don't these guys know the rule of the game? The rules of the game.
I don't know. I would hope they do. But
You, as the defending team, can jump in at any time within those 10 yards
at any time.
and grab the damn ball.
Yeah.
It's the
They could have
offensive
jumped
team
on
that
it
can't.
anywhere. That's right.
That was just a travesty.
That was the
Dak
Atlanta
takes him right down the
Falcons
field,
beating
and
the Atlanta Falcons.
and then Dak takes him right down the field, and
You know what? At that point, if they had
Caroline kicks the game winner from
look,
46.
at that point, if the Falcons hadn't lost, I would have been pissed because they had no business winning that game once they let that down onside kick.
That's the
roll
worst
around.
first quarter we've played in I don't know how long.
that was a bad. Yeah,
Remember.
I mean, they had a ton of turnovers in the first
Like
quarter.
the
didn't
entire first half, 29-10.
Yeah.
And I thought if Atlanta had stopped us on our first drive and we turned around and scored, that would have been the game.
Yeah.
And if Julio Jones hangs on to that pass in the end zone, that's the
Oh
game.
my God, the one he dropped. Yes. Oh my gosh.
When he dropped, I've never seen Julio Jones drop one that wide before. And
That's another thing. How many drops have we seen so far this season? I mean, it seems like everybody's dropping the ball.
I'd like to know how many interceptions we've dropped, potential interceptions we've dropped, because we had at least 3 or 4 today.
What did AJ Green have the other night? 10 targets.
At Ryan at all.
What AJ Green had the other night? 10 targets and 3 catches,
Yeah.
and he dropped about 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just say this: the Falcons had 39 points with 0 turnovers. Okay. Entering today, teams were 440-0 when scoring 39 points with no turnovers since 1933. So, I mean, if you want to talk about ultimate fail,
But again, Scott, this
It's
is the
Atlanta.
same team that blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history.
correct? Yes.
That's what I told a buddy of mine. I said, let's let them go up 28-3 at halftime and see what happens. Because
Exactly.
we've seen it happen before.
They pulled out the Super Bowl playbook. They must have hacked Kyle Shanahan's computer. Bad move.
I will say this: There were 21,000 people in the stands today, and it may have made a difference. I don't know. But they were spread out enough that they were social distancing, so every time everybody came in, had to wear a mask. I think they said that if they caught you without the mask on inside, you got one warning. Second time, you're out.
Hey, didn't they have to quarantine some people in one section of that Kansas City game opening night?
No, I don't know about that, but I do know.
One guy tested positive, and then all the people around him had to
because one guy got
isolate for 14 days or whatever.
Yeah.
They were taking everybody's temperature on the way into the stadium, so they're doing whatever they can, I guess. So 21,000 is 25%.
Well, that's a COVID record too, because that's the most fans allowed in the stadium since COVID. Since the season began under COVID.
Anywhere, I think.
Well, that's because they go by a percentage, and the last time I checked,
Jerry World seats 100,000 people. Yeah.
Well,
if you can put in 20% of 100,000, that's 20,000.
90,000, but yeah, it can hold 100,000. It holds the Super Bowl record for largest attendance. So, but yeah,
they broke the record for WrestleMania
today,
too. Remember, Elliot? Dallas. They broke the record for WrestleMania too.
They crushed
WrestleMania. They broke the record for the NBA All-Star Game.
Yep.
What else? NCAA tournament Final Four.
Yep. KC and his Chargers are going to overtime.
Oh boy. So it's 17-17?
2020.
2020?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a heck of a game. Atlanta had no business losing that game, but then again, they shouldn't have won it either because the way they played in that fourth quarter, when they let Dallas come back like they did.
We could have easily been completely torn to pieces in that game, and
Dak threw for over 300, or he threw for over 400 yards, and ran for 3 touchdowns.
29, I think.
And ran for 3 touchdowns.
27. Yeah. So if you had Zach in your starting lineup, you've got some points today.
If you had Dak in your lineup, you had some points, absolutely.
Yeah, let's see. That's 427 is 42 points, and 3 touchdowns running is 18. I don't know how many. I mean, you had 1 TD pass, so that would be 66.
If I win this week, it's because Aaron Jones saved my
Aaron Jones was a beast today, too, against the Lions.
45.6 points.
Elliot's favorite running back, Aaron Jones. Or is that John's favorite running back?
Oh, I love Aaron Jones. That's
mine. John's favorite running back, yes.
Well, I extremely loved him today. Because without that performance, I'd be losing right now. And they had Cam and Tyler Lockett playing tonight.
Let's see, where is it? Where are the stats here?
4 touchdowns, 417 yards.
We have a moment of silence for the Detroit Lions and their fans.
Yeah, Aaron Jones had 18 carries for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns today. Yeah. 40-plus fantasy point day.
45.6.
Yes.
Madness.
And Aaron Rodgers, again, another great week. He didn't throw for 300, but he threw 18 for 30 for 240 and 2 touchdowns himself. So any question about whether any quick opinion about Aaron Rodgers' potential decline or is overrated? He's still playing like Aaron Rodgers.
Heard a little snippet this afternoon. It's the first time in their 100-year history the Packers have started 2-0 and scored 40 points in both games.
Yeah.
Part of the season.
Not hard to believe.
Yeah, Aaron's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year.
You think?
Packers put it there, I believe.
You did, just to show you how good Aaron's game was today. He outscored 6 of my guys in my lineup combined. 6. That's fucking disgusting.
And let me just ask this question. Staying in the NFC North, what the hell is wrong with Minnesota? They went into Indianapolis today and got their asses kicked.
Well, they got no defense, first of all. Plain and simple.
That's the first time Simmons ever started 0-2.
They were really loud.
Kirk Cousins was 11 of 26 113 yards and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, really, really, really loud in the offseason when we did this little trade with them. They were really loud about how Kirk Cousins is just so much superior to Josh Allen and how they have such a better team. And
if you look at it, last week, the only reason Kirk Cousins had a decent game was because he got all his stats in garbage time. They were behind badly,
Well,
and he just piled it up. All his stats got padded.
not only that, but they also lost their offensive coordinator to Cleveland, who is now their head coach.
Right.
Well, Stefanski, yeah.
They also lost Diggs.
Okay.
So,
But they also lost some people on their team, on their defense. Daniil Hunter, the #1 lineman in football last year. They've lost. They lost Stephon Diggs. Let's put that out there on the table.
I said that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Cousins he's just not the one. He's not the one. If he was the one, he'd still be in Washington.
Well, he
playing for the
blossomed in
football team.
he blossomed in Stefanski's offense, but now Stefanski's not there, and he has a new offensive coordinator, and he's being exposed for the average quarterback that he is and has been his entire career.
And I believe that comparison when it comes to guys like Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
Because Austin Hooper banked in on a great 2019, but Baker Mayfield ain't no Matt Ryan.
Right.
Matt Ryan made Austin Hooper.
Yeah, agreed.
Just like he's going to make Hayden
Well,
Hurst.
The way Austin Hooper contributed Thursday night was through his blocking. Austin Hooper was great in his blocking on Thursday night. That's why they had so many yards on the ground, because Austin Hooper and their fullback both were key to the opening up the holes so that Hunt and Chubb can get some running lanes going. That's where he made the most how he did so well. That's what he did well on Thursday.
That was his contribution to
Correct.
the
Yes.
to the immortal win.
Yeah, Brett just mentioned, John, here's a surprise. Sammy Watkins in concussion protocol. Surprise, surprise.
You know, a lot of people today on Facebook and stuff were putting up questions about whether they should play Sammy Watkins after the great game he had last week.
He did that last year.
I told him, look, he did the same thing last year. He had a phenomenal game one, and then he disappeared for the rest of the season. I think he showed up in the Super Bowl, but that was it. You can't rely on, you know what? You can rely on Sammy Watkins as much as you can rely on Joe Mixon for the first 8-9 weeks of the season.
Correct. Correct.
Because Mixon doesn't start playing until after his bye week. Every single season.
Correct.
You used to say the same thing about Terrell Owens.
I never heard it, but sure, why not? Which team? With which team?
Eagles.
Because he used to play well with the
He did
49ers
nothing
from start to finish.
before he got hurt that one year in 2004. Then he plays hurt in the Super Bowl and catches 11 passes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also another injury, CMC also went down with an ankle injury today.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. So you
McCaffrey-
got what was legitimately the #1 and #2 picked running backs in most fantasy leagues,
Yep.
and they're both out. Although I believe Saquon Barkley's issue is a lot more serious.
Well, yeah, but I think Barkley's done for the year. I don't think CMC's done for the year. I think
Yeah.
it's a mild ankle, maybe
ACL. Yep.
maybe an ankle sprain or
Sad to see. Sad to see.
We lost our
and
tight end last week to ACL.
another news flash, guys. The Chicago Bears are 2-0. The Chicago Bears are 2-0 and tied with Green Bay in the first in that division. Trubisky's had back-to-back good games.
They can thank DeAndre Swift for their first win,
Yes.
dropping that touchdown in the end zone.
Matt Patricia too.
But Trubisky was 18 of 28, 190 yards. He did throw 2 picks. He had 2 touchdown passes too. So it wasn't a great game, but he had a decent game. So.
Did anybody have the Bears being 2-0 in their 2020 bingo card?
Hey, Ken, anything is possible on the 2020
In
bingo.
2020, anything's possible, Ken. Yeah, Brett, I did see that James White was just listed as inactive. The reason for that is because his parents were in a car accident. His dad was killed in a car accident, so he's not playing. James White for the Patriots.
They'll be all right though.
It was in Miami.
Condolences to the White family.
Yeah, I mean, they were
By the
killed in a car
way,
crash in
I
Miami.
have some breaking news, Scott.
What's that?
The Los Angeles Rams have applied for admission to the NFC.
NFC East. How bad is that division?
They're already
Guys?
2-0 in the NFC.
Yes.
Isn't everybody like 1-1 or the
Well,
No.
Chiefs
Redskins,
1-1?
Redskins are going to be 1-1 because the Cardinals are
Redskins
stomping
and
all over.
Cowboys are
They're
1-1.
Cowboys 1-1. Washington football team about to be
Giants
1-1.
0-2.
Already 1-1.
Yeah, but the Eagles are 0-2.
And so are the Giants.
Yeah.
So basically, that whole division is 2-6.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yep.
Yeah.
NFC least.
Yeah. We know where the worst division in football is.
Yeah.
Just like that NFC West is the toughest division in football.
Yes.
Top to bottom.
The
Yes.
Rams are 2-0. The Cardinals are 2-0.
The Niners are 0-2. Oh, no, 1-1. Excuse me.
2-0.
Yep. So, no, that's a tough division all the way around, man.
Seattle plays New England tonight, so we'll find out how good they are.
He's best.
They don't have a weak team in that division, really.
No.
Because Arizona has shown that they're legit
Right.
with Kyler Murray and now D-Hop. Shit.
D-Hop had a good game today, too.
Shit. Dude, he set a record for the most receptions in the first two games for a receiver on moving to a new team.
Yeah. Yeah, Arizona beat the Redskins 30-15. Kyler Murray was 26-38 for 286 and a touchdown and a pick. Hopkins, 8 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. He had 8 receptions and 9 targets, so he dropped 1 ball. So yeah, you don't think Hopkins is not making an effect in Arizona?
And I'm wondering why Bill O'Brien still has a job.
Well, Bill O'Brien should be out, as well as that dumbass in New York if we're playing coaching the Jets.
Oh, they got somebody coaching the Jets?
The offensive
I
mastermind.
wasn't aware they actually had a coach.
Yeah, the offensive mastermind himself. Yes, you're correct, John.
I believe
Adam Waste?
Matt Pat should be out in Detroit too.
Adam Waste?
Adam
Is that
Waste.
who we talking
Yes.
about? Adam Waste?
Yeah, I mean it's too bad because he's destroying the career of Sam Darnold, who under a better
Dude, he'll be gone by week 4.
yeah under a better coaching staff, under a better system, Sam Darnold could be a good quarterback. But what he's going through now with the first couple of years of the Jets is just terrible, just awful.
Le'Veon Bell saw the offensive scheme and faked an injury. He doesn't want to
Yeah,
play.
exactly.
He's on the IR because he put himself there.
Not forget Matt Pat in Detroit.
Just terrible. So Philadelphia's 0-2. They lost to the Rams today.
They've been stomped both their games.
What's funny is that at one point in time, can we just come out and say it that Carson Wentz is overrated, way overrated.
Oh, by far, dude. By far. You know what? He's the bust out of that quarterback.
Getting there.
Yeah. And just a hint out to NFL franchises: don't ever draft a Division III quarterback Division II quarterback, top 3 overall in the draft. Just don't do it.
Look, his career went downhill after that torn ACL he got against the Rams that one
Yes,
season.
I agree.
Yep.
He was
After that, and then he watched his understudy win the Super Bowl.
correct.
That couldn't have been too good for his psyche either.
No.
He's gone
Another
now,
side note to that game is at one point in time, Carson Wentz threw a pick, and the PA announcer actually used the fake audience and booed him. The fake PA, they had the virtual crowd noise in there, and they were booing him left and right the whole game. So whoever's operating that thing was trolling him big time today.
That's not cool. I don't.
It's great.
Well, yeah, but I mean, sorry, Carson Wentz is overrated. People were crying left and right that the Browns should have taken Carson Wentz instead of taking instead of taking who we took, and we didn't want him. We didn't want him.
Hey, can we address the elephant in the room?
Which is
Tom Brady.
Yeah, we got Tom Brady.
He had a great first half.
Yes, until Carolina woke up.
Yeah. He kind of fell back into post Super Bowl Brady mode.
Well, I mean, the Bucs
They
still
still
won.
won. Oh yeah.
They won.
Fournette had a nice late game bust out touchdown.
Well, yeah, because they got Carolina finally got it to 21-14 at one point.
And I'm telling you what, if Fournette's going to do that, then Tampa is in the conversation for best 1-2 punch in the running back in the backfield.
You think it's Fournette and Jones?
Rojo has played exceptionally well, and if Leonard Fournette is going to perform the way he did today,
Hey, Katie.
going forward, yeah, I'd say
Katie.
they'd be in the conversation. I didn't say they would be the best. I'd say they'd be in the conversation.
Well, thing of it is, Rojo he ran the ball 7 times for 23 yards. He had a fumble. Okay, so the majority of the carries from that point on went to Leonard Fournette. He had 12 carries and 103 yards and scored 2 touchdowns today, including a long run at the end of the game that sealed it for the Bucs.
And that's what Arians does. He sits
Yeah.
people that don't mind hanging on to the ball.
Right.
But you know what? Next week he'll be right back in there. And like I said, if those two can jive, if those two can figure it out, they could be in that conversation.
Well, after only having 1 target last week, Mike Evans actually had 10 targets today. He caught 7 balls for 104 yards. He had a touchdown. So Mike Evans had a game today, which is what kind of game he wanted to have.
Well, he took advantage of the fact that Godwin wasn't playing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right.
Which that is what is expected of someone with his talent.
Yep.
You know, everybody makes it seem like, oh, Mike Evans, you know, he did something special. No, he didn't really do anything special. He did what he was supposed to do when the other star wide receiver was out.
Right.
Okay.
But
Now,
they also
Mike
had,
Evans.
and Shady had 5 catches out of the backfield today as well for 26 yards. So I mean, he did his stuff. He did his thing out of the backfield today too. And Rojo did have a touchdown as well. So yeah, it's got a good 1-2 punch. I still think the 1-2 punch in Cleveland is better, but I'm just being biased. Don't mind me.
I'm not. You know what? Rewind the tape.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about who's better or who's best.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I just said they'd be in the conversation.
Of having one of the best 1-2 punches. But again, I mean, in my opinion, I still think the 1-2 punch in Cleveland is better.
Well, we'll see when they play Pittsburgh and when
Yes.
they play, you know, some
Yes,
of
I'm
the
still
tougher
waiting for them to play a
defenses,
good team.
like Baltimore.
Like,
You know, they
yeah.
weren't such a great 1-2
Yeah.
punch down in Baltimore last week.
No, they weren't. And I'm for this first minute, I was disappointed in how they played.
Okay.
Can they keep it going against the Washington football team next week? We'll see. But yeah, when they get to Pittsburgh, when they get to, you know, the better teams in the schedule, that's what I'm going to be looking at hardcore.
Speaking of the Washington football team, that kid Chase Young is the real deal.
Yes, he is. He's out of Ohio State. He was the number 2 pick overall, and he's a beast. He's going to be harassing quarterbacks his entire career. He really will. He really is. He's one of the best edge rushers come out of college in a long time. You know, and he's going to dominate. You know, just it's a matter of whether or not they can get a good offense in Washington around him and get a better defense around him to make them successful. You know, so whatever, you know, Matty's in the
Hey, if you can record a sack against Kyler Murray, you're doing okay.
Yep.
Because Kyler Murray
catch
ain't
him
no
first,
easy
man.
sack.
I do like the rookie quarterback for the Chargers, Brett. Thanks for asking. He had a good game today.
Oh man.
He had a good game. And Matt's already trolling you, John. You see that?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah. He's booing the Bills at you right now.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, how did the Lions do today?
Yeah, right? Katie can tell you how the Lions did today.
Just for poops and giggles. Let's see.
I'm sure Katie can tell you how the Lions did today. I'm sure.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
They were who we thought they were.
They were who we thought they were.
Compliments of the great Denny Green, by the way.
By the way, that's another coach that's on the hot seat.
Game over. Oh, wait, there's a flag.
He'll be gone.
Patricia?
He'll be gone before the season's out as well, Mr. Matt Patricia.
Go Diggs. Yes, exactly.
I call him Matt Pat.
You know what? That
It's
catch.
Detroit, dude, and you know what?
That,
They don't have Galladay in there. Their running game is a jigsaw puzzle that hasn't been put together yet.
False start, KC, on the game-winning field goal. Wow. Bring it back.
Who's number 13 for the Bills, John? Your receiver.
Who's number 13 for
Yes.
the Bills? Oh, Gabriel Davis, the rookie,
That
man.
catch he made in the
Like
back.
that catch, right?
Oh my God!
You like that catch, right?
That was amazing.
That was juicy, right?
That was real nice.
Yeah, man.
He had two guys on him, and he dove and just picked that ball right out of the air like that. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Oh, by the way,
Go Pack, go! Congratulations on your Packers winning today. They doubled up the Lions, 42-21.
Well done.
Oh,
again, another one of those things that always happens. When does Green Bay not destroy Detroit?
AC just won. No, maybe not. No, that's
no, they called timeout.
They're just replaying that. They're
When did
replaying.
anybody not destroy Detroit?
Oh, but yeah, I mean, as far as the Bucks go, I mean, they had a good game against Carolina. Carolina doesn't have a great defense, and that's their major issue right now. Bridgewater was harassed all game long. I mean, the Bucks defense, I guess they played okay, but you know, I go back to last week, like Elliot said about the Browns playing against the Ravens. I go to last week, how the Saints just put the smackdown on the Bucks last weekend. When they play the better teams, then I'll be more interested to see how they do.
Well, I don't even think that they put the smackdown on them because that game was pretty much lost to
Crazy.
Brady mistakes.
Game over. KC won.
KC won.
Wow. Yeah, crazy,
KC
man. That was the
won.
third time he
Breathe now, Brett. KC won.
That is 11 victories in a row for them.
Hey, what did Edwards-Helaire finish with? What was his stats?
I don't know. I just watched the field goal. I didn't see.
We'll find out.
I kept telling Brett, you know what? I kept telling Brett all week long. Kansas City is not going to do well against that Chargers offense.
10 carries, 38 yards. No touchdowns on the running backs this week.
There you go.
Mahomes was 27-47 for 302 and 2 touchdowns.
Look, San Diego is a much different defense than the Houston Texans.
Yes.
Edwards-Helaire is going to have a great career,
Yes.
but for now it's going to be in spots
Yes.
because he's got to figure out these other defenses that are actually really good. Houston, not so great. So, again, we're still in week 2, and the thing is that I don't think even in week 16 we're going to figure out what the fuck has been going on all season long.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey had a
We'll be
touchdown.
asking questions all the way to the end.
Kelsey had a touchdown, and Tyreek Hill had an amazing touchdown today. It was just an amazing catch by him as well. He highlight reel was really stepped up again today. So
At this rate, all fantasy owners will have to play their backups.
All right.
speaking of which, the Rams primary went down today, and the guy that I traded you for actually was the number one guy for the Rams today too. That you got for me, the Ram, what was that running back you got for me last?
Akers?
No, Akers.
What
won.
did Goff finish today? Because I know he started 13 of 14 for 158.
Who?
Goff did okay today. He threw 3 touchdowns to Higbee.
Yeah.
He started out
Higbee
13 of 14.
Higbee was a fucking beast today.
Yeah, Goff, 20 for 27, 267 yards and 3 touchdowns for Goff today, for Jared Goff. As far as running backs are concerned,
But you know what? Let's temper that a little bit because this is the same. Jared Goff beat the same defense that lost to the Washington football team.
yes, it's true.
True.
That's true. But
Why they want to play NFC East.
Darrell Henderson was their leading rusher for 12
Darrell Henderson.
for 48 yards. Malcolm Brown actually had 11 carries. He had 47 yards. Malcolm Brown is what I was talking about.
Yeah. No, I traded Malcolm Brown. I moved him on.
Moved him on.
I moved him on before the game to get DJ Chark.
That didn't take long, yo.
Hey, you know what? My weakness was my wide receiver, so I had to, bump it up a little bit. So I went and got Chark from Jacksonville because he usually balls.
Awful fantasy football day for me. But you know what? I don't care. Guess why?
You're 2-0. You're 2-0, John. Who cares? Right?
Because the Bills are 2-0.
Under the radar today, Pittsburgh beat Denver 26-20, 21.
That was a lot closer than it should have.
It
I thought it was.
Yeah. A lot closer than it started out.
Drew Lock went out early with a shoulder injury. He did not finish the game. Jeff Driscoll was his backup. He was 18-34 for 256 and 2 touchdowns and a pick. He played decent. He was harassed the whole game with that for the Pittsburgh defense, though. Melvin Gordon actually had 19 carries for 70 yards. He didn't do much. He had a couple catches too.
That's Jeff Driscoll from the University of Florida.
I think so. Yes, I think so. He was 18-34 for 256. Drew Lock was only in only had 1 for 5. So
I think he was in for like 1 series or 2 series.
Yeah. Big Ben was 29-41 for 311 and 2 touchdowns. He looked good again this week. A second week in a row, he's looked good.
He's on a mission, dude. He's on a mission.
Yeah.
James Conner for 106 yards.
Remember all the talk about he was done after that injury?
Right.
Lots of people were going down that route. Big Ben's got a chip on his shoulder this year. Not good for defenses.
And when Ben's got a chip on his shoulder, usually it's going to come to a head again.
It doesn't work out well for NFL defenses when he's got a chip on his shoulder.
We'll see how he does when he goes up against Baltimore. That's going to be.
Houston is not that good, Brett.
Baltimore is that good. Houston is not.
No, Brett. Houston is just not that good.
No, they're not.
They're not.
That running game that you saw in Week 1 against Kansas City. Come on, the Chargers just ran up and down the field on Kansas City today. Kansas City doesn't have a great run defense.
No, they don't.
David Johnson didn't do a whole lot against the Baltimore Ravens today.
No, he didn't.
Exactly. Houston right now is mediocre, and the bottom line is it's because they traded DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
That's right.
Arguably one of the dumbest trades known to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. The Browns had
Dozens of them from
had
Houston.
one a while back for a certain.
But we can't
Trent
count the Browns.
Richardson.
They do stupid shit
Trent
all the
Richardson
time.
trade. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ended up being the pick they ended up getting that first round was Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Stellar pick.
How did that work out for you?
Yeah.
Oh, they've always had stellar quarterback picks at freaking in the first round.
No. We gave up Trent Richardson to the Colts for a first round pick, and then that first round pick was it was Manziel.
Who'd you pick Baker Mayfield over again? You want to read him out for me?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Who else? Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
I think that's the one he was looking for, Josh Allen.
Yeah, they picked the wrong Heisman Trophy winner, John.
Yeah.
The jury's.
Hey, you know what? Throughout history, teams have been known to pull stupid shit like that. Remember the Portland Trailblazers drafting Sam Bowie instead of Michael Jordan?
Bowie instead of
Michael Jordan. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I do.
Come on now.
What I will say about the Baker pick was that was the previous regime. The new regime did not do so bad in the draft this year. We actually had a good draft, so I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, but you live and die on quarterback play, man.
Yes.
You really do.
Yes.
I totally believe that. And the proof in the pudding was Tyrod Taylor with San Diego's offense last week and Herbert's offense this week.
Yes. Let me
The offense looked much more fluid in San Diego this week. And you know who that made happy? Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and the rest of the receiving corps.
Eckler, I'm sure Eckler's pleased with it too. So, but I'm also a firm believer of you are a victim of your surroundings as well. And let me ask you this: do you guys think that if Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen would have done as well under Cleveland's system than the systems they're currently under? Do you think they would have done better?
It's
No.
systems and players.
No.
Systems and players is what it's all about, dude.
Yeah, they would not have had the support staff in Cleveland to make them as good as they are had
No.
they been drafted in Cleveland because they didn't.
Right. So, but whose fault is that? Is that the player or the front office?
Jackson
it's the
running
front
for his life.
And that's why I say that as an example, the kid in New York, the Jets, he's a good quarterback. He's being destroyed by the system he's in and the coaching staff he's under.
Yeah, but not just the system. He doesn't have a supporting cast.
No, he doesn't have a supporting cast.
His number one receiver today was Brashad Perryman.
Yes, and he went out early because he got
And
injured.
he went out early. When your number one running back is Frank Gore, there is an issue.
38-year-old Frank Gore, yes.
They leave.
There is an issue.
I'll say this about Sam Darnold. He is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he is a typical SC quarterback. And they just do not work out in the NFL. The last decent one they had was
I remember Kevin Leinart. Remember that guy? Or
Yeah.
Wasn't that his name? Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart.
It went to
Leinart.
Arizona.
Yeah. Leinart didn't even last that long, though.
Oh, he sucked in the NFL, dude.
NFL, yeah. How about the one who used to be the Bengals quarterback?
Andy Dalton?
Which one?
No, or Dalton.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer. Carson
Yeah,
Palmer
he's
was the last
USC.
decent SC quarterback in the NFL.
Thank you, Katie. I try to keep gotta look good, but it doesn't happen.
I think it's all system and it's players around you.
I know, because I look at it. Patrick Mahomes is as good as he is because he spent a year under Andy Reid in the quarterback room with Alex Smith and learned. He just sat there and learned for 1 year before they got rid of Alex Smith.
And because he has the weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weapon.
Well, he has the weapons too, but the
That's
knowledge
what's going to propel Josh Allen. That's what's now going to propel Josh Allen.
Well, yeah,
The
but
fact that he has weapons.
Right, because he had the system last year.
Yes.
He just didn't have the weapons. Like, now you're starting to see Brian Dable actually be an offensive coordinator. He has options now. Before it was like, I can't even remember that jackhole's name because Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, like, that was our big receiving.
he was supposed to be the next Randy Moss coming out of college, and it never came to fruition. Because he went
Actually, I saw Calvin Benjamin in high school. He
Yeah,
was 19 years old in high school.
yeah,
Kelvin Benjamin.
there's a name from the past.
Oh man.
His high school.
Let
team
me
was
see if
like
you can agree with this thought I have. Do you think the Cleveland Browns over time would be better if they had Joe Burrow at quarterback?
No,
They
again,
had who?
if they had drafted Joe Burrow this year,
Oh,
I'm just no. If they had Joe Burrow instead of Baker Mayfield.
right now,
Yeah.
no, because Baker's again. You got to understand also, Baker has been in Cleveland for 3 years, and in those 3 years, he's had 4 head coaches and 4 different offensive systems.
Okay.
He has not had the consistency. He has not had the weapons.
Nobody's ever had consistency.
He hasn't had the weapons.
He doesn't have weapons. Jarvis
Odell Beckham
Landry.
Jr., Jarvis
Odell Beckham.
Landry.
No, his first 2 years he didn't
He's
have
got
all
no
those weapons.
weapons.
We got Beckham last year. Beckham wasn't there 2
So,
years ago in his rookie season.
4 year, 3. This is his 3rd year.
How long will it take him to maximize the weapons he has?
This is his 3rd year
Not
in
until
the
the end of
league.
this season. Next season will happen.
His
Yeah.
3rd year in the league. Right?
Yeah.
2 of those now, he's had Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, and the carousel at tight end.
yeah.
Yes. He had
Kareem Hunt.
He didn't have.
Kareem Hunt, too.
He didn't have Hooper last year, but yeah.
So, it's
No,
not
but he had-
only that.
Yeah.
It's that Baker Mayfield sucks.
Thank you, John. I didn't want to be as blunt as all that. But
I'm
yes.
just
It's one of those
saying.
good
I
commercials,
mean,
though.
like, when is it?
But
Like,
you have-
okay,
you
the play-
have to admit that there was a shit show last year because of the coaching staff in that franchise last year.
fine,
Mhm.
fine.
He had
Fine.
nobody.
Cleveland- hey,
he had
that's a-
no guidance. He had no leadership on that coaching staff whatsoever last year, and he suffered because of it.
And that's what Cleveland Browns fans and their organization has been saying forever. Oh, it's because of the front office. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of that. It's because they make bad choices.
I'm not willing to give up on him just yet, okay? I'm just saying.
Hey,
he's a better choice than Johnny.
what was your no? What was your reaction the day Baker Mayfield?
I know what my reaction was. I was not happy, and I'm
exactly.
I would have preferred somebody else. Yes.
There's a reason why you were not happy.
Because I wasn't sold on him. I'm still not 100% sold on him, but I think he's gotten a raw deal because of what he's had to deal with the last 2 years.
Baker is serviceable.
I'm sure he's not the only one.
I want to see him. I want to see him progress under a good coach, a good system, and stable leadership. And the staff they have in there now is more of what he needs, and we'll see how he progresses throughout the year. I'm not saying the Browns are going. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. Okay, I'm not saying Baker's the answer. He's the franchise quarterback of the future. I'm just saying I want to give him a chance because of what he's had to deal with the last 2 years. That's all. Okay, I look at the big picture. I don't look at just the way the player plays the game. I look at what his surroundings are. Okay, Freddie Kitchens was a disaster.
And he's surrounded by a historically flawed franchise.
Freddie Kitchens was a horrible head coach. Hugh Jackson was a horrible head coach. Okay, I'm just saying it was the surroundings. It wasn't all him. It was a lot of it was on him, but not all of it.
There needs to be stability at the franchise, but that's front office. That's ownership.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's why the Bills are actually like putting things together now, because they made the decision and the commitment to this is our front office, this is our coaching staff, and we're going to ride or die. Oh, wait, now we get the 7th overall pick. We're going to get our franchise quarterback now and give him the tools slowly. But the big thing, just what Browns fans have been having to deal with, is that it's the carousel of coaching that happens. And you can't get these guys who are under enough stress as it is to perform. Like, the quarterback position is kind of a high-stress position in the game. Every year, stuff.
Look, Baker Mayfield is not the worst quarterback I've ever seen, not even close.
No.
Okay?
I'm just
But the bottom line is this, okay? There's a certain something about him. He has the physical ability, he has the talent, this, that, and the other. He just doesn't possess stability between his ears.
And that's why I hope being with Stefanski in this new regime is going to help him more than not. So far, now he had a bad first game. He played good the second game against the Bengals. I know it's the Bengals, but still, he had a good second game. He looked like he was more comfortable in the pocket. He stepped up in the pocket as opposed to running for his life like he's used to doing. The offensive line is pretty stable. He's got a good offensive line in front of him, and he's seen more consistent. Now, if he maintains that and improves upon that throughout the season, then I'll be more impressed with him. I'm 60-40 on him right now.
I've seen the schedule for the next 6 weeks.
Yes.
Those 6 weeks are going to determine how good or how awful the Cleveland Browns are going to be throughout the entire season.
Katie says
they've got some pretty stacked opponents.
Katie, you're going back 40 years, but I got your point. You don't have to be smart to excel as an NFL quarterback. Look at Bradshaw.
But again, Bradshaw had what?
Weapons.
Weapons.
Well, he had Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer in the backfield, and he had Stallworth and in each end. And yeah, come on, yeah.
But
plus probably the best defense to ever suited up over 4 or 5 years.
But look at Joe Burrow's play compared to Baker's.
Oh, and I said
on game 2 of their career.
Joe Burrow played above what his team's ability is on Thursday night. I'm not down degrading that at all. Burrow had a good game. Now
Joe Burrow already looks like Hall of Fame material.
Potential.
Baker Mayfield, not so much.
Potential, yes.
Let's wait a little bit on that.
Potential Hall of Fame material.
I don't see that.
I don't even see Baker being close to that. Give them time, dude. Let Cincinnati build the way you claim Cleveland has built. You know
Who
what I'm
does
saying?
Cleveland have next
Let
week?
Cincinnati build the way Buffalo has built.
Well, I think the owner in Cleveland's better than the owner in Cincinnati because Mike Brown's a dumbass.
And Joe Burrow, I'm telling you right now, that kid, he's got it.
Right.
If they put weapons around him, he will excel. But
Who said that the other night? LeBron. LeBron put out a tweet, said, this guy's got it.
Yeah.
So, when you got LeBron calling you out like that, there's something special about you.
Who do the Browns have next week, John?
The Washington football team.
Oh boy.
We get this. The LA Rams
In Buffalo, or are you going to LA for that game?
in Buffalo.
Oh boy.
We'll be back at MetLife Stadium to play the Giants.
Now let's see how many more injuries you can have without that turf, right?
That's going to be the battle of the MASH units. Which is a damn shame because San Francisco and the Giants were one of the most awesome rivalries a few years back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they were. And as a footnote, the Browns game is in Cleveland next week against
Oh
Washington.
yeah, I knew it was in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland next week.
What's their game in week 4?
They are playing the Cowboys in Dallas.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Hey Ken, is that drool I see on your lip?
Oh, got it. So Katie says, so he'll be the next Aaron Rodgers, meaning Joe Burrow will be the next Aaron Rodgers. Let's not give him that crown just yet.
No, I'm not giving him that ground quite yet.
We
But
can never
he-
have enough Aaron Rodgers.
He's leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of recent Heisman Trophy winners.
I agree.
I mean, this guy was truly NFL ready coming out of college.
Yeah, you were talking about the next 4 weeks. We got Washington, Dallas, the Colts at home, and then then Washington, Dallas,
Pittsburgh?
Colts at home on week 5, and then week 6 is Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then the rematch in Cincinnati, week 7.
Yeah. So in the next 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to tell how good this team is. Oh, he says no. Meaning he's the only superstar on the team, and he's expected to elevate the play of every player on the offense. That's what he meant by that. Now you know.
So, let's talk a little bit about tonight's game, New England and Seattle.
Let's go Seahawks.
That has the potential to be a classic. Cam against
Cam and Russ?
Yes, Cam against Russ.
That could be an instant classic for sure.
Yes. In Seattle.
Especially since there's no more Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
We saw that against Atlanta last week.
Yeah. But the offense just exploded against that defense in Atlanta, so we'll see.
Oh, you know what? One more guy I forgot about on the San Francisco 49ers.
But
Sherman?
Richard Sherman's been out, yes, yeah.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah, he's been out, yes.
He's on the IR as well.
Yes. That was after last week. He was on the IR going into this week, wasn't he?
Debo's been on the IR as well. So. But yeah, no, tonight could be one of those pinball classics. Huh?
Yeah, because the defense in Seattle isn't what it used to be. It's not nowhere near being what it was during the Legion of Boom times.
No.
But their offense is really explosive. Yeah,
That New England D still has some legitimacy to it, though.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's gonna be an interesting game. I got a feeling. I mean, you get two marquee quarterbacks like Russell and Cam, and it's an instant classic. Everybody will be tuning in for that one. Anybody excited about the christening of the football
the
Death Star?
Death Star tomorrow night? No. Again, no. Not really.
Well, you got Drew Brees. You got to be interested.
I expect New Orleans to go in there tomorrow night and light it up because the Raiders don't have a great team. I mean, they won last week, but it is what it is. So, but I don't think Raiders can handle the Saints.
I would wholeheartedly agree with you if it wasn't because Michael Thomas isn't playing.
Well, that's true too. That's why I'm hoping he goes to who's the new number 2 guy in there. I mean, he's on my fantasy team.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders is the number 2 guy in New Orleans right now. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Side note, Kenny will know about this. Speaking of Dallas having a great weekend, Bryson DeChambeau, the master of the PGA Tour, won the U.S. Open today.
Won the U.S. Open today by 6 strokes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bryson DeChambeau because I don't like his attitude. That's just me.
He's John Daly without the baggage.
Yes, John Daly.
It's pretty much grip it and rip, and that's what he did. He only out of 72 fairways this weekend, he only hit 23.
Yeah.
23 out of 72, and that was the most anyone got. So
the unique thing about DeChambeau is all of his clubs are the same length. Doesn't matter if it's a wedge or all his irons are the same length, whether it's a 3-iron or a sand wedge. It's just the loft and just how he swings it. He was a math major in college, and that's how he approaches the game. Whereas opposed to the rest of the players that do as a feel and touch type of thing, and that's why I don't like it. But that's just me.
The only player that finished below par.
He's the only one that finished at or below par all 4 rounds. Yes. Yeah. But his dominant performance this weekend was nowhere near what Tiger did in 2000.
No, nobody's going to do that again. But
Tiger won with 17 under, and the closest person to him was +6. So I mean, it was just dominant.
Nobody's going to do that again.
No.
Shall we take a moment to discuss the NBA Conference Championships?
Go ahead.
Can I just say one thing before we totally get away from football?
Yeah.
This is tweet of the night.
Okay.
From Dan Orlovsky.
Oh boy.
The legend.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, guess what? 2 playoff teams from last year traded their number 1 wide receivers. Those wide receivers' new teams are 4-0. And the major reasons why. The teams that traded away their wide receivers are 0-4. And their offenses are as explosive as pudding.
Let me take a crack at that.
I love me some Dan Orlovsky, man. I love Dan Orlovsky.
Diggs and D-Hop.
Diggs and D-Hop. Tweet of the night.
And for those that don't remember, Dan Orlovsky was a quarterback with the Detroit Lions who was famous for running out of the back of the end zone on a pass play, not knowing who it was. Yes.
Well, man, he's got bites now, man.
Yeah, but Dan Orlovsky has a great approach and an analytical mind to look and see the game and be able to analyze the game. He's great. He's awesome.
If I remember correctly, he runs out the back of the end zone and stops, and he hears the whistle blow, and then he looks down. He's out of the back of the end zone and goes, oh boy.
Well, all that indicates is how much these organizations need to really grow from a, organizational mentality. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. I mean, come on. You got to be kidding me that you're going to trade somebody like D-Hop.
It blows my mind.
Diggs.
But see, but the Stephon Diggs thing, I almost understand because of the diva and drama he was causing in Minnesota. But the D-Hop thing made no sense.
None.
And that's on Bill O'Brien, isn't it?
Not even. Hey, not even. That didn't make any sense even with the 2016 version of David Johnson.
Right.
Okay.
When I saw that,
And
I don't know how this guy still has a job.
One more time.
That's what I kept saying.
I'm going to stroke your ego one more time, Johnny, okay? Josh Allen, post-game, threw a pass to his mom and dad who traveled from California to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami.
That's the kind of guy Josh is.
Yes.
And that's the kind of culture that's being built in Buffalo.
Yes.
Buffalo is a working class town. It's not flashy. It is the Rust Belt. It is the king of the Rust Belt. You know what's in Buffalo? The Walden Galleria, a big shopping mall, and then a bunch of houses that are burnt out. That's it.
And factories that are no longer in working.
Right. It's a hard town. It's a working class place, blue collar. It's not flashy. So and it's beautiful. Sponsored by
Sports Nerds. The Sports Nerds are sponsored by Canada Dry.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. Terry Pagula and Kim Pagula are, regardless of whatever, but I think they're fantastic for the Bills. I think they're great. They brought in a culture of Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott who have actually brought stability to it, and that's the kind of guy they wanted to get. They wanted to get the guy that would throw the ball to his mom and dad in the stands.
Doesn't that sound similar to the ascension?
Wegmans, yes, Katie, yes, and Wegmans.
Doesn't that sound similar, John, to the ascension of the Toronto Raptors?
Same kind of culture.
Right. Speaking of NBA basketball, after taking a 2-0 lead in the first two in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics came back and won yesterday.
Don't matter. Let's go Miami. It's all about the Heat, baby.
Miami still has a 2-1 lead. Did the Lakers win last night, Elliot?
No, Lakers are playing right now. They're up 35-31 with 9:03 to go in the second
quarter. Are they leading
quarter.
that series 1-0 or is it first
1-0?
game?
1-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll catch up to the Eastern Conference series because their next game's not till Wednesday.
Game 4 until Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you got Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you still have the Lakers series a game behind the Eastern Conference series.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also did see that the WNBA released a statement today saying they have postponed a semifinal matchup because of inconclusive tests on COVID on some of the players. I think from one of the teams. So they put that off.
Did you hear this morning? Scott Hansen on NFL Red Zone announced it before the games started.
No players,
this morning.
2 weeks in a row, and no players have tested positive.
2 weeks in a row with 0 positive coronavirus tests.
Now there have been some administrative people, like 2 people in the administrative areas, that tested positive, but they did not have
among the players.
Yeah, but this is just among the players. There's 0.
Like 300,000 tests have been done.
Yeah.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I want to rewind because I know you guys saw this. The Bam Adebayo block on Jason Tatum at the end of game 1. Did you guys see that rejection?
No. Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
Tatum was going up for that slam, and Adebayo
just Bam block with his finger, like his hand bent backwards, like that's great.
I mean, his hand met the ball right in the middle of the rim.
Shades of LeBron in 2016 and the 2016 finals. Yes.
No, better block.
Better,
absolutely.
Better, because LeBron was chasing. This guy was on his way to the basket.
Yes.
And Adebayo came from out of nowhere, dude.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And stuffed him.
You know what's funny watching this? And regardless
for
if Miami wins or loses the series, you gotta think like, man, it must suck being a Sixers fan.
It does.
That always makes me sleep better at night.
Well, just think about it. You're looking at a possible storyline series between LeBron and the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Could be.
LeBron with the Lakers coming back to a team he took to the NBA Finals or helped take to the NBA Finals 4 years in a row.
Right.
Which is the storyline that Adam Silver does not want because he wants Boston versus New York, LA. That's what he wants.
Yeah. Lakers and Celtics.
No,
Bring it back to the 80s, back to the good times of the 80s.
I think the LeBron versus the Heat thing is a lot more intriguing.
Oh, I do too.
I do too.
Yep.
Especially with the way the Heat are playing right now.
I love Jimmy, man. I love him, man. I love watching him play. I love his hustle.
Jimmy Smith.
You know who else I like on that team?
Jimmy Butler. I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant Jimmy Butler.
You know who I like on that team that the Phoenix Suns gave up? Goran Dragic.
Dragic, man. Heck yeah.
That dude is fucking money, though.
Oh, here you go, Elliot. For the 4th straight season, the Yankees have clinched the postseason in Major League Baseball.
God,
Oh, not just that, but they also secured their 28th straight winning season.
Yes, whatever. Yes, Jimmy Butler is all sorts of awesome. Katie. People have got a couple of people in Lincoln, Cleveland that like Jimmy Butler a lot, that watch him. So yeah,
Dude, the Yankees just scored like 50 runs in 3 games against Toronto.
yeah.
yeah. That was
Five
great.
home runs in 1 inning in one of those games.
Yeah, whatever.
And Luke Voigt, he's a fucking beast. That guy's got, what, 20, 21 home runs?
Yeah.
At this pace in a full season, he'd have like 68 by the end of the season. Oh, a shout out to Albert Pujols.
Really?
Yeah,
Asked Willie Mays on the home run list
Oh,
for
there you go.
he passed Willie Mays, yo.
2.
So, and that's the minute segment of baseball we talk about.
That's all we got to say about baseball tonight.
A
I
little
think
shout
the
out.
Twins clinched the playoff spot today.
What'd you say, Kenny?
I said I think the Twins clinched the playoff spot today.
Yeah, the Indians still haven't clinched, so. All right, they're still going to. They're mediocre. They're not going to get it.
Aren't they all playing in Arlington in the playoffs?
It will be.
That's where the World Series is going to be held, is in Arlington.
The World Series will be in Arlington.
The new stadium in Arlington.
Aren't the championship
Cal Bar.
games going to be there too?
National League Championship Series will be. And one of the National League Divisional Series games also
Where's that at?
in Arlington, here at the new ballpark, the stadium. You'll have NLDS Series, I don't know which one, the NLCS, and then the World Series. They will be bubbled in the adjacent hotel that will be over by the stadium. So I don't know if they will allow any fans. I think I've heard there might be minimal, like 5,000 to 10,000 fans in the stands for the World Series. But don't quote me on that. I think that's still under negotiation. And Manfred will have the final say on that, I think.
Yeah, Katie says she doesn't like the venue changes for the different series. I don't blame her, but
I had nothing to do with it, Katie.
He's lying. He did.
I had nothing to do with it. Now, if the Sox had been there, I might have had something to do with it, but no, not since then.
So tomorrow night, game 2, right? Lightning and Stars.
yes, tomorrow night, Lightning game 2 against
Game
Stars.
2.
Um,
Very,
Dallas,
very
yeah, Dallas, go Star, go Dallas,
Go Estrellas.
I'm
Estrellas.
Corbin Dallas,
on an island.
Corbin Pass.
Estrellas. That's Stars in Spanish, by the way.
Yes.
I am very, very pissed off.
Why?
That's better
These
be.
games 2 and 3 will be on NBCSN, and I don't have cable, and won't get to see them.
Oh,
I won't get to see another game until game 4.
oh boy.
And
Hey, they could clinch.
no,
They could win it in game
They
4.
can win it in the 4
could
straight.
win on game 4.
That'd be a great celebration for you.
I don't understand why NBC's doing that. I mean, do they think hockey is just not that popular? Is that what it is? They got to put it
I
on.
don't know.
I mean, I
Well,
get
no,
it.
we have to have
I know.
all these stupid
Well, they'd have to
garbage
bust
shows
in
that
the-
NBC has on Monday nights. And
They'd have to bust in the
Wednesday
shows
night.
like, hey, they'd have to bust in the shows like America's Got Talent. You know?
America's Got Talent, exactly.
Or I mean, they're already going up against
And
Monday Night
American-
Football, so why not-
American
why not
Ninja
put it on
Warrior.
NBC?
Yeah, those shows are more important than hockey. You know?
You know, they want to put more exposure on the game, but why don't they put it on the major network as opposed to a secondary sports network?
Exactly.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Because it
Yeah,
doesn't
I know
matter
exactly
to them.
what you're saying.
It doesn't matter to them.
I mean, all right, look at it.
Who doesn't love hearing Doc
ABC.
Emmerich call a hockey game? Are you kidding me? He's the best
ABC.
coach in hockey. Doc
Who?
Emmerich.
ABC will have the entire
That's the
NBA
answer you're gonna get from a lot of people.
Also have the entire World
Including the
Series.
Canadian.
Why can't NBC have the entire Stanley Cup final?
I don't know.
it's all about the ratings for the station. You know what I'm saying? Hockey isn't going to get the ratings that shows that have been on this station forever.
They're not going to get better ratings than NFL or NBA or like stuff like that.
Exactly.
But,
Come on, seriously, man. Hockey's the only sport that doesn't have fantasy.
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Who plays it?
Not many people.
Me.
Not anybody on this planet.
No, not
It
anybody.
must be fantasy.
Except for the entire country of Canada, but Canadians are a little psychotic when it comes to that sport. So.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Don't worry about the Super Bowl.
The last two series, the divisional series, well, in fact, the entire playoffs that have been in Edmonton. How have the Edmonton people been reacting to it? I mean, obviously,
John doesn't know. He's no longer in Edmonton. So
Oilers didn't last very long, which is a disappointment.
And you know what? My kid has not mentioned it once.
Really?
It's funny. It's interesting. As a hockey fan that he is, he hasn't mentioned it once. Today we were talking about Josh Allen. And then we were talking about DeAndre Hopkins because he's a Cards fan and I'm a Bills fan. That's what we talked about today. Like,
Yeah.
anyways, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Go Stars.
I mean, postseason sports are great. I am truly sorry that you guys can't get your hockey where it should be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've got NBC Sports Network, so I'll still be able to watch. But I feel bad for guys like Ken don't have cable; they can't watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I'm
wondering,
sure.
is it going to be on?
Oh, you don't have internet? You don't have internet at all?
No.
No,
I've
he's
got
he's
I have
flying
to
off
use
his
my,
4G right now.
hotspot.
Because there's got to be some
I'm
place.
already out of
There's got to be some
hotspot,
place you can stream.
memory.
Hey, go use the Wi-Fi at McDonald's.
That works.
Wi-Fi McDonald's. Yeah.
Isn't it free?
Haven't used my phone.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens.
I've got
you know,
Peacock, but I don't have Peacock Premium.
No, I see.
Yeah, it would have been on
It's all
Peacock
free,
TV. Isn't
Yeah.
it on PeacockTV.com? Isn't that free?
Peacock, the regular Peacock is, yes. The premium is like
It's like $6 or $7.
$4.99 a month. Yeah, something like that. Oh well, I'll still listen to it on the radio.
And tomorrow night, once again, the Las Vegas Raiders christen their new stadium, affectionately known as the Death Star.
We'll be watching Las Vegas and New Orleans tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are they
what else
having
you guys looking
fans
forward to
there?
this week?
Do what?
Are they having fans?
In Las Vegas?
I don't
No.
know.
No.
No.
No fans this season in Las
No,
Vegas.
no fans in Las Vegas, no.
And you know why that is? You know why that is? Because a lot of those cases
Las
of
Vegas, that's why.
coronavirus are out there in the West, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Vegas is like right above Arizona and just
No telling
below.
what's going on in Las Vegas going around.
What else are you looking forward to this week, guys?
Oh, Twitter. Just to smash talk anybody slandering Josh Allen.
You love Twitter so much, John. I know you do.
Oh, there's nothing better than sports on Twitter, man.
I know. Oh, I know.
Great.
I know.
I will be tagging you, John, on the tweet I'm going to have when I put in that Josh Allen has more weapons than Arnold Schwarzenegger and Commando.
Yeah, I put it on
We'll
Facebook,
post
the BBD thing. I don't know if you guys saw that today because I thought it was the funniest meme I saw all day. So,
Big 6 on Russell Wilson right off the bat, guys.
who got it?
Wow.
Let me guess. Stephon Gilmore.
Wow.
I love Stephon Gilmore.
There's one for you.
32.
I tell you that that New England defense is still the New England defense.
Yes, it is.
I love the Buffalo accounts that follow me on Twitter. Buffalo versus everybody 2-0 just followed me on Twitter. I love it. I love it. Anytime.
McCourty got the pick.
Who did?
McCourty.
Which one? There's
one?
two.
30.
Yeah.
Weaver has 31. One of the McCourty brothers got it. I think Weaver wears 31. So Buffalo against you gues had the same.
31-7, isn't it? Devin
You guys
McCourty?
have the same mindset in Buffalo that we do in Cleveland. It's Cleveland against the world, or it's Buffalo against the world, right?
It's a Rust Belt thing, man.
Yes.
It's really easy to be a fan of a franchise that's not in the middle of the Rust Belt, because we don't get the stars and the publicity.
Two. And Brett made his post on Facebook today about the Bermuda Triangle of the NFL: Detroit, Cleveland, and Cincinnati.
I know we were excluded. I'm appreciative of that, Brett.
Brett, I'd smack you, brother. If I could reach you, I'd smack you right now.
The Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, you could probably do that.
At least the Bengals have been there twice.
Yes, they have.
They're the
He
only
might have
ones
put
that
that
have.
next. He might have put that next to the Ohio State Toilet Bowl championship.
Mhm.
Guys, it was a good show. We got to wrap it up.
Good stuff,
Good.
guys. Good week of football for the
Yes.
Bills and the Cowboys and the Browns. And even though the 49ers lost some players, they still got a dub.
Yep, they
They
did.
got a W.
One of our
And you
teams
know
won.
what? Even with the lack of players, they'll get another W next week against the Giants.
All right, because the Giants won't have
what a
Saquon next week.
They are toast, man.
Anyway, thank you everybody for showing up. We're going to wrap it up for another week here on the Sports Nerds. On behalf of my co-host Elliot Biggie Lamba, my producer, John Olson, my best buddy, Ken Coslow, I am the Sports Nerds, and we will see you all next Sunday. Elliot, hit my outro.
Well, there you have it, Nerds Nation. Another Sunday episode of the Sports Nerd Show in the books, and we're actually still live to tell about it. Now, on behalf of our hosts, Scott, the Sports Nerd, right? John, Bob, and Ken, the three other lovable members of the Ramp Pack, and yes, me, Big E. The entire pack would once again like to thank you all for participating with us in the best 90 minutes of sports smack talk on the web today. So until next Sunday night, dear nation, we want to leave you with a quick PSA. Please stay safe. Please practice social distancing. And for fuck's sake, please wear a fucking mask. You just got hit with a pack rant from the Rant Pack. And with that, fellas, we are